This page is the vibrant cover of Nintendo Power, prominently featuring artwork from Disney's Tarzan, with Tarzan and Turk swinging through the jungle. The main headline highlights Disney's Tarzan with the tagline, "Be Tarzan, you game?" The cover also promotes a Pokémon Stadium tour and lists various game coverage inside. Featured content includes in-depth strategies for games like Ridge Racer 64, Cyber Tiger, and Fighter Destiny 2. Game Boy Color titles like Bionic Commando and Turok Rage Wars are highlighted. There are also hot previews for upcoming games, such as Tony Hawk's Pro Skater for 64 and Crystalis for Game Boy Color. This page is an advertisement for Donkey Kong 64 featuring Donkey, Diddy, Tiny, Lanky, and Chunky Kong. It promotes Nintendo Power Guides and special bundles for the game. This page is a Walmart advertisement showcasing top Nintendo games and hardware, like Pokémon Stadium, Donkey Kong 64, and various Game Boy Color titles, promoting them as the best games found at everyday low prices. This page features Battle Zone, Rise of the Black Dogs for the Nintendo 64. It highlights the game's premise: tank commandos using alien technology to fight the Soviets and Americans. The game allows players to choose allegiance, commandeer vehicles, offers a wide variety of tanks and weapons, features environmental effects, and includes multiple modes like arcade, pilot, and strategic commander. It also supports up to 4 players in multiplayer. Review quotes praise its backstory, AI, and compare it to titles like Doom, Command & Conquer, and The X-Files. The game was scheduled to be in stores in March 2000. This page features Disney's Tarzan as the main focus, highlighting the game's jungle adventure and providing tips to help players. The artwork shows Tarzan battling a leopard, alongside images of Turk and Tantor, and includes screenshots from the game featuring platforming action. The table of contents section details the magazine's content, organized into strategy, special features, and every issue sections. Strategy guides cover games like World League Soccer, PGA European Tour, Fighter Destiny 2, Ridge Racer 64, Cyber Tiger, Turok, Rage Wars, and Bionic Commandos, with associated page numbers. Special features include previews for Pokémon Stadium on 64, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and Crystalis, along with a report on game makers. Regular sections listed include Player's Pulse, Poke Center, Counselor's Corner, and more. Previews for Pokémon Stadium, Ridge Racer 64, Cyber Tiger, and Bionic Commando offer brief descriptions and screenshots, promising insider information and tips for these titles across Fun, 64, and Game Boy Color. This page is the Player's Pulse section, featuring letters from readers about their thoughts on video game delays. The overwhelming response was related to the delay of Perfect Dark, with many readers expressing that they prefer delays if it results in a better quality game, while others are impatient or want firm release dates. Several pieces of reader art are displayed, including drawings of Link, Mario battling Bowser, Samus Aran, Pikachu and Ash with other characters, Donkey Kong, and a kid fishing, accompanying various letters discussing games like Donkey Kong 64, Pokémon, WWF, and Zelda, Ocarina of Time, alongside the central theme of game delays. This page showcases the latest power charts, confirming that The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and GoldenEye 007 have reclaimed their top positions on the Nintendo 64 list, joined by Super Smash Bros. The Game Boy charts are led by Pokémon, with Link's Awakening DX and Pokémon Pinball also ranking high. The Most Wanted list features anticipated titles like Pokémon Stadium and Donkey Kong 64. Reader letters continue the Player's Pulse discussion with artwork and thoughts on varied gaming topics, including family gaming generations and character pronunciation. This page dives into the world of Disney's Tarzan on the Nintendo 64. The game is praised as a cheetah-fast, tree-surfing, chest-beating expedition that deserves to be king of the jungle. The page covers the items and weapons found in the jungle, like different power fruits for attacking, bananas for health, collectible tokens, sketch pieces, the knife, and Jane's parasol. It also explains the savage ways of gameplay, showcasing mechanics like finding hidden items underground or in crates, utilizing launch pads for high jumps, obtaining goodies from plants, and surfing on tree branches. Character introductions highlight Jane, Kerchak, Turk, Kala, Tantor, and Professor Porter, detailing their roles and appearances in the game. The article emphasizes the game's 2.5D design that cleverly incorporates 3D elements. This page provides detailed walkthroughs for 2 levels in Disney's Tarzan: the Baboon Chase and Trashing the Camp. The Baboon Chase puts you in control of Jane in a thrilling, forced-scrolling sequence, guiding her to collect the letters Tarzan and finding sketch pieces, which unlock a tree-surfing bonus level if all are collected. Trashing the Camp features Turk in a side-scrolling level with branching paths, explaining how to navigate the environment to find the letters Tarzan and sketch pieces, leading to a jungle jumpin' bonus level once all sketches are found. Screenshots accompany each tip, showing the location of collectibles and key moments in both levels. This page delves into 2 more challenging areas in Disney's Tarzan. First up is Campsite Commotion, where you, as Tarzan, navigate a human camp to find collectibles, needing to avoid contact with the seemingly passive but harmful humans. The guide highlights key areas like T is for turnaround, near house, and collecting sketch pieces among the tents and crates. Next, you tackle the journey to the treehouse, focusing on Tarzan finding Jane and encountering Kerchak and Kala. This level features treacherous terrain like breakaway branches and brittle logs, guiding you through obtaining letters like Open Letter and tackling obstacles like rhinos and crocodiles in sections like Rhinoceros Sketch and Crocodile Fears. The page also touches on bonus levels like riding Tantor in Tantor's Escape and the Jungle Jumpin' bonus, similar to the previous level's objective. This page continues the guide for Disney's Tarzan, detailing 2 more distinct levels. The first, Rockin' the Boat, is described as a departure from the typical side-scrolling, offering freer movement across a seafaring vessel to collect letters and sketch pieces. The guide walks you through navigating the deck and various areas like the smokestack and foredeck to find everything. The second level, Tarzan to the Rescue, sees Tarzan teaming up with Tantor to free the apes captured by Clayton. This level involves varied challenges from riding Tantor to facing off against Clayton's thugs in fruit-throwing combat, and concludes with a confrontation against Clayton himself, requiring skilled dodging and attacking. This page showcases the explosive world of Vigilante 8, Second Offense, hailing it as the future of auto combat. The ad features heavily armed vehicles like a tricked-out prison bus and a hovering sports car, emphasizing the game's focus on vehicular warfare. Players can upgrade any vehicle with enhancements to speed, armor, and more. The game promises chaotic combat across 8 destructible arenas, with 18 futuristic vehicles, hidden weapons, and power-ups allowing for floating, hovering, and traversing snow. It highlights modes for 1-player rampages or 2- and 4-player battles. A quote from Next Generation calls it the most spectacular car combat game yet. The ad also promotes a related high-octane comic book and shows the game is available on the Nintendo 64 from Activision. This page dives into World League Soccer 2000 on the Nintendo 64, presented as a detailed sim by South Peak. Nintendo Power provides essential strategies and tips to help players succeed. The guide covers various offensive techniques like fakes, crosses, one-touch passes, and leading passes, along with advice on dealing with opposing goalkeepers. Screenshots illustrate these moves in action. The page also highlights the game's international scope, featuring diverse teams and a variety of stadiums, emphasizing the global football experience offered. The game is rated E for everyone. This page continues the guide for World League Soccer 2000, focusing on defensive strategies and team management. It offers essential tips like mastering tackles, interfering with opponent passes, dealing with airborne balls by using defenders for headers, and lining up players to block free kicks. The Global Perspective section lists many international teams featured in the game, such as Argentina, Brazil, France, Germany, Italy, Holland, and others, noting their basis in the 1998 World Cup results. The guide also touches on customizing your team's strategy in the menus and how varying weather conditions can impact gameplay. This page concludes the World League Soccer 2000 guide, presenting detailed stats for numerous international teams from different confederations, based on their 1998 World Cup performance, covering skill, speed, offense, midfield, and defense. The guide emphasizes that it's stoppage time and advises players to practice. The right side features an advertisement for Disney's Tarzan, a platforming adventure coming to Nintendo 64 and Game Boy Color in February 2000. This page is the classified section, offering cheat codes and information for several games. For Armorines, players can find codes for fast movement, unlocking specific bug enemies, instantly getting all weapons, and a unique wireframe visual mode. Xena. Warrior Princess cheats allow unlocking the final boss, Despair, as a playable character and facing Gabrielle in quest mode, with details on Despair's signature attacks like Fire Breath. NBA Courtside 2 features a secret room accessed via button presses, which unlocks quirky visual effects like big heads and tiny players, as well as codes to reveal hidden teams and view the game credits. Ready to Rumble Boxing provides cheats to upgrade your gym status and unlock more boxers in arcade mode by naming your gym appropriately in championship mode, plus a separate code for alternate boxer outfits. Screenshots accompany the descriptions for each game, illustrating the effects and characters. This page contains various classified secrets for several games. For Resident Evil 2, you can unlock alternate outfits by obtaining a special key from a specific zombie in the Raccoon Police Department tunnel, allowing Claire and Leon to change their look. Paperboy features a level select code, max subs, which can be entered into the game's Type-O-Matic to jump to any neighborhood. Roadsters offers numerous cheats activated by renaming your driver, including monster truck wheels, more money, helium voices, higher resolution, RAC car mode, Skycam, hovercars, and the ability to unlock mirror and reverse courses. You can also turn off all active cheats by renaming your driver to Cheats Off. Carmageddon. Carpocalypse Now players on Game Boy Color can unlock all vehicles and tracks using the password AUS6SZD, Skull V. Finally, for Space Invaders on Game Boy, there's a code, CLSS 1281999 dBm, to access a hidden classic coin-op mode, providing a retro arcade experience. Readers are also invited to send in their own game codes. This page showcases the exciting world of Pokémon Stadium on Nintendo 64, the ultimate way to see your favorite Pokémon battle in stunning 3D. The game is centered around the Transfer Pack, allowing trainers to bring their teams directly from their Game Boy, Red, Blue, or Yellow games onto the big screen for the first time. Players can compete in various tournaments like the Pokémon Cups and Gym Leader Castle, or jump into action with the Battle Now feature using pre-selected teams. Multiplayer modes support up to 4 players for intense free battles. Beyond fighting, you can organize your Pokémon and items in Professor Oak's lab, or even play your Game Boy game on the TV via the Game Boy Tower. With mini-games and a final challenge against Mewtwo, Pokémon Stadium is a must-play for any fan. This page dives deeper into the modes and features of Pokémon Stadium. You can challenge various tournaments, including the Structured Poké Cup and Prime Cup, with specific level requirements, the Petite Cup for smaller Pokémon, and the Pika Cup for lower-level creatures. The Gym Leader Castle lets you face off against Kanto's leaders after battling through their trainers, culminating in a showdown with Mewtwo after conquering all cups and the castle. For lighter fun, the Kids Club offers 9 minigames with adjustable difficulty, featuring cute Pokemon like Clefairy and Magikarp. The game brings the Pokemon lineup to life in impressive 3D, allowing you to battle friends, tackle the gym leaders, or capture memorable moments in the gallery photo mode with rentable Pokemon. Catch all the action when it arrives in March. This page showcases Worms Armageddon for the Nintendo 64 and Game Boy Color, highlighting its unique brand of strategic warfare. Described as far from a simple fishing game, it pits worm against worm across 44 battlefields for up to 4 players. The game boasts an arsenal of 41 special weapons, including the famously absurd flammable old ladies and bouncy banana bombs. The page features various peculiar characters and weapons like a cranky old woman, a heavily armed and skanky skunk, a woolly flying sheep, a slippery banana bomb, and the Mad Cow, emphasizing the game's outrageous humor and weaponry. Screenshots display different level environments, from snowy landscapes to Halloween settings, showcasing the chaotic, turn-based action. The N64 version allows players to create unlimited additional levels in multiplayer for endless, non-stop play. It's still war, but definitely not with your usual weapons. This page dives into PGA European Tour, Infogrames' first golf simulation for the Nintendo 64. Noting it faces tough competition. The game features various ways to play, including stroke play, match play, skins, and practice rounds, offering options for solo play or up to 4 players. It highlights the diversity of the European Tour, with championship courses from several countries, and includes virtually all the top pros of the era, although a long list of names is present. The game boasts detailed control options, allowing for different shot types like lob, backspin, and bump plus run, which are explained alongside helpful practice modes like the driving range and putting practice. While it offers a Create a Golfer mode and first-rate commentary, the page points out drawbacks like a slow learning curve for controls and greens that are difficult to read. For quicker play, a quick round skips setup menus but doesn't allow control customization. This page features 2 notable Irish courses from PGA European Tour, Druid's Glen, and the Skate Club. Druid's Glen is a par 72 course with many water and tree hazards, recommended for practice rounds with unlimited mulligans to learn its challenges. The page highlights specific holes like the 8th, a par 3 requiring a shot over water, the 14th, a par 4 with a water hazard off the tee, the 17th, a par 3 to a tiny island green, and the tricky par 5 18th with narrow fairways and water hazards. The Skate Club is presented as a classic Irish course filled with water and bunkers, where good drives are essential for positioning. Key holes detailed include the long par 5 7th, the par 4 8th offering a birdie chance with a good drive, the par 4 10th requiring a difficult second shot even after a long drive, the short par 3 12th perfect for a birdie with a precise shot, and the par 4 16th, another birdie opportunity from the middle of the fairway. Each hole description includes yardage, par, and strategic advice, accompanied by screenshots and mini-map views. This page continues the look at PGA European Tour, highlighting the Quinta do Lago course in Portugal with its trees and water hazards, and the Kungsängen course in Sweden known for elevations and evergreen trees. Specific challenging holes are described for both courses along with strategic advice. The game's leaderboard feature is also shown, listing top players. The review notes the game is a realistic simulation, perhaps less flashy than other golf titles but rewarding for dedicated players. The page also features Harvest Moon 64, a charming game where players work a farm, interact with townsfolk, participate in festivals, and can even find romance. Screenshots show the farm environment and characters, emphasizing features like livestock, crops, new items, and tools. This page introduces Nintendo Software Technology Corporation, or NST, Nintendo's new game development studio based in Redmond, Washington, founded by key figures including Minoru Arakawa, Scott Sumura, and Claude Comer. NST aims to create games specifically for the Western market. The article details the company's formation and highlights its close ties to DigiPen, a premier school for game designers also founded by Comer. NST is launching with a trio of titles: the high-speed racer Ridge Racer 64, the classic action platformer Bionic Commando, and the fantasy adventure game Crystalis. Screenshots of these games are featured, showcasing the studio's diverse initial output and the creative environment where they are made. This page takes you behind the scenes at NST, detailing their process for creating games. They emphasize starting with meticulous paper plans and flowcharts before ever touching code. A key concept is building specialized tools, or the skeleton, unique to each game, allowing different team members to contribute effectively. The article highlights the critical phase of balancing the game, adjusting everything from physics in Ridge Racer 64 to enemy difficulty in Bionic Commandos, done by relentless testing. Finally, it looks to the future, keeping upcoming titles secret while confirming development is underway for the next generation, specifically mentioning the Dolphin system. The page is filled with character art from Bionic Commando and fantasy games, plus screenshots showing off Ridge Racer 64 and the classic Bionic Commando action. This page previews Tony Hawk's Pro Skater for the Nintendo 64, hyping it as the system's first skating game. The article assures readers it's all good, highlighting how it captures the joy of skating without the typical injuries. It praises the game's amazing graphics, simple controls, and kicking soundtrack, featuring legendary skaters and boards in diverse, skater-friendly environments like a Miami school and San Francisco streets. Screenshots showcase gameplay moments and tricks, including a detailed sequence of a 360 flip to mute. The page also features a large section dedicated to Redline BMX bikes, showing off various models and riders performing tricks, noting that a joystick is not included with the bike. This page delves into Fighter Destiny 2, highlighting it as a distinctive 64 fighter focusing on a point system rather than just depleting health. Players earn points through various means, like countering moves or knocking opponents down. The page outlines the different modes available, including the standard versus calm, where you unlock the character Fabian, and versus battle with normal and high-stakes win or lose variations. Training mode is detailed with sections for practicing normal attacks, aerial combos, special moves, and evasion techniques. For the ultimate test, Record Attack challenges players with survival, fastest opponent defeats, and even a quirky rodeo mode fighting a bovine contender. Screenshots showcase gameplay across these different modes and training exercises. This page dives into Fighter's Arena, a unique board game mode in Fighter Destiny 2 that blends different challenges. You navigate a map, landing on squares that trigger specific bouts like fastest, survival, or rodeo matches, or even special fights against Cherry or the Master. Winning these matches and performing well can earn you rewards like stat boosts and new moves from the Master in prize fighting. The page also highlights individual fighters like Sayeki, a balanced martial artist with a key hidden skill, and Adriana, a Brazilian dancer known for exceptional knockdown attacks. It also touches upon cosmetic options like changing outfits and mastering new techniques as you progress, culminating in the challenging final fight variations. This page continues exploring the diverse roster of Fighter Destiny 2, presenting profiles for 6 more unique combatants. You get a look at Abdul, the Mongolian powerhouse, Kate, a former British bartender, Federico, a versatile Italian fighter, Ninja, the essential Japanese stealth expert, D-Dog, a Nomus fighter with a basketball background, and Zeej, a massive German brawler. Each profile highlights their fighting style, key moves, and a special hidden skill, often accompanied by a screenshot. The page also offers valuable tips on core gameplay mechanics, explaining how to escape throws, utilize dodging and blocking, gain an advantage when fighting near the edge of the arena, and survive even when stunned. This page continues the character showcase for Fighter Destiny 2, detailing 3 more diverse fighters. Pierre, the French clown known for bizarre, evasive moves, Dixon, a British hooligan with a tough street fighting style, and Mieling, a quick and light Chinese fighter adept with kicks. Each profile highlights their unique moves and hidden skills, demonstrating the variety in combat styles. Additionally, the page features Your Destiny Awaits, discussing the game's replayability through mastering characters, defeating challenges, and earning the Master's approval. The page also features Dragon Warrior Monsters for the Game Boy Color, highlighting its expansive world of collectible creatures. Players can gather over 200 unique monsters, train them, and even breed them to create stronger offspring with special abilities. The game supports multiplayer battles and breeding via the Game Boy Link cable, building on the legacy of the popular Dragon Quest series. Screenshots show the monster collection and dungeon exploration gameplay. This page dives into Ridge Racer 64, setting the stage for its high-speed arcade racing action. It highlights the various ways to play, from quick play for a fast race to the main Grand Prix mode, which unlocks dozens of cars and tracks. The game emphasizes burning rubber and mastering the art of drifting, offering different techniques like acceleration drift and brake drift, plus distinct drift styles to choose from. Collisions also have consequences, varying based on how and where you crash, impacting your race depending on the situation. Multiplayer modes like battle and team racing are also featured, allowing friends to compete. Screenshots showcase the fast-paced gameplay, different drift maneuvers, and the track diagram illustrating crash scenarios. This page delves deeper into Ridge Racer 64, explaining how to manage your garage and progress through the game. You start with basic cars and unlock faster ones by winning races, which are categorized by type based on their handling characteristics. The game features intelligent rivals, with 2 distinct AI types you'll encounter in races. One is the main challenger, while others have different behaviors. Progression is tied to difficulty levels, with specific cars becoming available as you advance, culminating in the powerful Z-Class vehicles. The next page covers the Grand Prix mode in Ridge Racer 64, where you race against 11 CPU opponents across multiple stages and tracks. This mode is where you'll hone your drifting skills and unlock new cars by winning races to earn the Gold Cup. Stage 1 introduces the basics on easier tracks, like RR Novice and Revolution Novice, highlighting key turns such as the tunnel exit and hairpin bends. As you progress to Stage 2 and 3, the CPU difficulty increases, and you face more challenging layouts like the extended RR Expert track with its switchbacks and the demanding turns on Revolution Expert, where the guide recommends trying the Galaga Prid cars. The guide emphasizes practicing drifting and experimenting with different cars to find the best fit for your style. The next page continues the Ridge Racer 64 Grand Prix Guide, advancing through stages 4 through 8. As you progress, the speed increases, and you tackle the reverse versions of the Novice, Intermediate, and Expert tracks for Ridge Racer, Revolution, and Renegade courses. Stage 4 introduces the faster Galaga Carrot car, making familiar tracks feel new in reverse. Stages 5 and 6 ramp up the challenge with tighter turns, jumps, and the need for precise drifting. Stage 7 tests your speed and cornering without relying heavily on drifts. Finally, Stage 8, the Lizard Nightmare, Is your goal to unlock the final car needed to beat the game? Featuring the red, white, and blue opponent you'll race against on the Renegade Expert Track's tricky reverse layout. Mastering these stages requires clean driving, strategic drifting, and handling aggressive CPU opponents. The next page details the ultimate challenge in the Grand Prix, the Z-Class Platinum Cup. After conquering the initial 20 courses, you face an even tougher set of races, primarily using the high-speed Screamin' Eagle car. These Z-Class races demand mastery of aggressive drifting and precise control, as traditional techniques may not work at these speeds and course layouts. Screenshots show the intense action on Z-Class versions of familiar tracks like Ridge Racer, Revolution, and Renegade. The guide also hints at the final stretch, revealing that there are surprises and other cool vehicles to unlock beyond the main Platinum Cup goal. Screenshots labeled Flyby, City Lights, and Big Screen suggest diverse environments and visual elements to discover. Separate on the page is a preview of Polaris Snowcross for the Game Boy Color, highlighting its advanced snowmobile physics, rumble feature support, customizable sleds, multiple leagues, and head-to-head link cable play. This page provides a vibrant look at NHL Blades of Steel 2000, featuring an array of colorful and unique goalie masks. Designs range from a classic red cross and a playful rubber duck with a target, to more surreal depictions like a crying baby, a clown, and a mask emblazoned with "Call 911." The game highlights Jaromir Jagr with a quote, praising his ability to humble goalies since 1990. Screenshots showcase the game's presentation, emphasizing textbook hockey AI and new player graphics. The logos confirm the game is available across Nintendo 64, PlayStation, and Game Boy Color platforms, promising a strong hockey simulation with distinctive style. This page dives into Cyber Tiger, an arcade-style golf game starring Tiger Woods that abandons stuffy simulation for outrageous action. Forget perfectly manicured lawns. This game features big explosions, moving targets, boiling lava. It's golf gone wild. The review highlights the game's unique kick-putt modes, going beyond standard stroke play and match play to include a ruthless Tiger challenge, a target-shooting driving range with blimps and submarines, a destructive two-player battle mode where drivers become weapons, and a skins game. Adding to the arcade feel are power-ups, special golf balls that give players an edge, like increasing distance, eliminating bounce, cutting through obstacles, or making the ball float on water. The page showcases screenshots of the game modes and some power-ups, emphasizing its departure from traditional golf titles. The reviewer notes it lets loose more than typical golf games, comparing it to Mario Golf in its willingness to break from simulation. This page provides essential tips and techniques for playing Cyber Tiger, building on the arcade-style golf mechanics discussed previously. It breaks down the different shot types, explaining the full swing, chip, and pitch, with visual diagrams showing height and distance. The page offers advice on gauging shot distance, considering factors like power, wind, weather, and terrain, and how to use power-ups like the accuracy ball. It details strategies for specific situations, such as navigating water hazards, using the water skipper, and battling wind with the wind cutter. Tips are also given for various game modes, including practicing on the driving range to earn power-up balls, using the flyby camera to scout the course, selecting clubs strategically in the Tiger Challenge, and taking pot shots at opponents in battle mode. Finally, the page reveals that Tiger Woods himself was motion captured by esports to accurately replicate his distinctive moves in the game. This page continues the deep dive into Cyber Tiger strategies, detailing how to leverage power-ups like the TUP ball and spinner, tackle obstacles like trees, earn extra power-ups through performance, master shot power, unlock secret characters including different versions of Tiger Woods and Mark O'Meara using passwords or finding hidden objects, and utilize the mulligan option. It confirms the game's arcade focus and highlights unlockable courses like the volcano level. The right side of the page features adverts for reserving Nintendo 64 titles such as Mario Party 2, Pokemon Stadium, and Ridge Racer 64, including a free bonus with the purchase of Mario Party 2. The next page is entirely dedicated to Pokemon, offering valuable insights for trainers, particularly focusing on preparing for battles in Pokemon Stadium. It emphasizes using the transfer pack and provides a detailed guide to training, including advice on stat-boosting items like Carbos and HP-ups, diversifying movesets, finding the strongest individual Pokemon, and constant battle practice. The PokeChat section addresses various fan queries, from the effectiveness of training items and game compatibility to fun topics like Pokemon anatomy. There's a brief look at new Pokemon Marble collectibles and a gallery showcasing creative fan art of popular characters like Team Rocket, Mew, and Squirtle. This page delves further into the Pokemon universe, starting with the Ask the Professor section that answers fan queries about Pokemon Snap and Pokemon Yellow, including tips for finding special Pikachu photos and understanding the rival's Eevee evolution path. It also provides guidance on where to catch the versatile Ditto in various Game Boy versions. The Coliseum feature focuses on preparing for Pokemon Stadium battles, presenting a formidable team lineup consisting of Dragonite, Gengar, Cloyster, Sandslash, Exeggutor, and Magneton, along with their key moves to dominate opponents. Finally, a gallery section showcases creative Pokemon artwork submitted by readers, highlighting characters like Articuno and Hitmonlee. This page offers an early look at the highly anticipated Pokemon Gold and Silver games, which were creating buzz in Japan. The article confirms a fall 2000 use release window and reveals the groundbreaking real-time clock feature, noting that the game world will track the actual day and time, influencing events and Pokemon appearances. Artwork and screenshots showcase several new Pokemon, including Snubbull, Togepi, Donphan, Marill, known as Pikablu Online, Electabuzz, and Noctowl, hinting at what's to come. The right side of the page features a FuncoLand advertisement promoting various Nintendo products, including the Nintendo 64 console, Pokemon Stadium, Mario Party 2, and Ridge Racer 64, alongside Game Boy Color systems and games like the original Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. This page features the Counselor's Corner, offering expert tips for challenging parts of popular games. Strategies are provided for defeating Axel in Rayman 2, The Great Escape, including using purple lums and firing at ice above him. For Donkey Kong 64, guidance is given on rescuing Diddy by finding coconut switches and reaching the classic DK arcade game through the Frantic Factory. The section on Banjo-Tooie tackles getting through the Cave of Bad Dreams by using Magic Fist on skulls to create platforms, and defeating the Mad Jack boss with Tiny Kong's abilities, emphasizing timing and using platform switches. Screenshots accompany each tip, illustrating the specific game areas and challenges discussed. This page continues the Counselor's Corner, offering more expert guidance for challenging moments in various games. For Resident Evil 2, you get step-by-step instructions on locating the crucial Diamond Key and the Golden Cogwheel by navigating specific areas and solving puzzles in the Raccoon City Police Department and sewers. There's also a tactical breakdown for defeating the giant alligator in the sewers, advising you to ignore conventional attacks and instead use the gas canister switch for a quick takedown. Shifting gears to Gex 3, Deep Pocket Gecko, the page details how to beat the first bonus stage involving skating elves and finding time power-ups. You also learn the best strategy for surviving the armadillo-infested old mine level by waiting patiently and hitting them when they expose themselves. Finally, the Q&A section provides quick answers for common questions in Mario Golf on Game Boy, Star Wars, Episode on Racer on Game Boy, and Knockout Kings 2000, covering everything from in-game sounds to getting back up when knocked down. Screenshots throughout the page visually assist in understanding the tips provided. This page dives into Turok, Rage Wars for Game Boy Color. It sets the scene with Turok facing invading aliens called the Amaranthine Accord and Bionosaurs across 4 alien worlds, needing to use a piece of the Time Fire to warp between them. The page highlights various enemies Turok will encounter, like lizard cut-ups and bodacious entrails who attack from rafts. It details Turok's arsenal, explaining how tune-up and mix kits upgrade weapons like the Uzi and blade launcher, and create powerful combos like the crossbow and rocket launcher L2. Tips are offered for gameplay situations, such as opening doors, navigating tight spaces, handling off-screen enemies with the Blastomatic, and using shields against specific attacks. Finally, there's a guide for the Green Planet boss, the Floater, advising players to dodge acid water while shooting. The reviewer praises the game as worthy of the N64 heritage. This page continues the guide for Turok, Rage Wars, detailing the second and third planets. You'll infiltrate the desert planet, using disguise and TNT for demolition work across levels like keeping up with its Force Scrolls and Big Gulp's chomping jaws, leading to the explosive finale in the Big Bang. Then, venture to the frozen planet, battling through thin ice and cold dip, finding powerful weapons in Grab the Gun, and braving the pushing winds of windy weather. The guide also provides tactics for bosses like the frozen planet's robot, advising you to target its head and watch for blinks, and the final tank, stressing constant movement and targeting its turrets for victory. This page dives into the action, first concluding the Turok Rage Wars feature by detailing the treacherous volcanic planet. You'll face challenges like navigating hot feet, auto-scrolling lava platforms, and using holograms in thick skin to sneak past enemies. The article culminates in the final battle against the dragon, describing its attacks like pounce and how it flashes when hit. A final review praises the game for its action, surprises, and the Earth is saved conclusion, highlighting the combo weapons, graphics, sound, and control as meeting high standards. The page also features Vigilante 8 for Game Boy Color, showcasing it as the only auto-combat game with real voice playback, advanced physics, a new HUD, 12 unique characters, and customizable controls. It includes screenshots showing various Chowcaratic combat scenarios. This page delves into Crystalis for the Game Boy Color, a recreation of the epic NES adventure. Set in a world 100 years after a nuclear war, it blends technology and magic as the hero embarks on a quest to save the Kingdom of Dragonia. The article highlights the core gameplay, featuring 5 elemental swords, wind, flame, water, thunder, and the combined Crystalis sword, each with powered-up abilities. It also touches upon the extensive magic system for defense and healing, protective armor, and a wide variety of items and antiques, crucial for survival and solving puzzles. Screenshots display the game's enhanced graphics and top-down perspective combat. This page continues the look at Crystalis for the Game Boy Color, detailing more aspects of its post-apocalyptic world and gameplay. It highlights the 8 magical spells you'll learn, from essential recovery and teleportation to unique abilities like changing forms and flight, each requiring magic points. The vast world is explored, featuring diverse regions like Wind Valley, Swamp Forest, Mount Saber, and the Angry Sea, each with distinct challenges shown in screenshots. The importance of interacting with NPCs and helping others is emphasized, as this often leads to crucial information or assistance. Travel is key, with spells like Fly and Teleport aiding exploration across different terrains like swamps and mountains. The page also touches on the varied enemies, from common mutants to major bosses, and notes the development team's aim for a faithful recreation that is as good, or better, than the original NES game. This page is a promotional spread for the PGA European Tour game, highlighting a player's poll contest where readers can enter to win various prizes. The grand prize offers a trip to the Smurfit European Open at the Sea Club in Dublin, including a 5-night stay, a chance to see the pros play, and a set of tailor-made golf clubs, plus the PGA European Tour game for your 64. The second prize includes a tailor-made putter, golf balls, and the Thin 64 game, awarded to 5 winners. 53rd prize winners will receive Nintendo Power t-shirts. The page features striking visuals of beautiful golf courses, professional golf equipment like tailor-made clubs, and the box art for the PGA European Tour game on the Nintendo 64. It details how your vote counts in the players' poll and serves as an entry mechanism for the contest. The rules section outlines the entry process and eligibility for this golf-themed sweepstakes. This page dives into the classic return of Bionic Commandos with Elite Forces. It highlights the game's core concept, a blend of human and machine, focusing on the versatile bionic arm. The article touches on the game's origins as a beloved NES and Game Boy title, and how this new version updates the experience. It details the weaponry available, noting different firing modes, and explains how players can equip various gear, like helmets and boots, for strategic advantages. Crucially, the page emphasizes the bionic arm's primary functions for movement, including swinging across gaps, climbing platforms, and even using it offensively to stun enemies. You can choose to play as either a male or female commando, bringing a fresh perspective to the classic gameplay. Several screenshots showcase the game's visuals in action, demonstrating the bionic arm in use for traversal and combat. This page jumps into the early levels of Bionic Commando Elite Forces, specifically Level 1 and Level 2. Level 1 is presented as a training ground, advising players to focus on mastering the bionic arm's swinging mechanics without fear of bottomless pits. Featured alongside gameplay screenshots is artwork of the female commando. Moving into Level 2, the challenge ramps up with new obstacles like spiked pits and enemy platoons. The guide highlights specific strategies for Level 2, including finding a secret area by dropping through a platform, the importance of contacting headquarters for progression, and a tactical approach for destroying the level's reactor objective. Several boxes offer general tips for the game, covering how to locate communication outposts, utilize sniper mode, find hidden health and extra lives, and destroy key enemy installations like missile control boxes, all illustrated with helpful screenshots. The next page dives into the next stages of Bionic Commando Elite Forces, starting with Level 3 and Level 4. First up, you'll face enemy attack ambushes on the map before Level 3, which are top-down battles that can yield an extra life if you defeat the large tank. Level 3 drops you into a dense jungle environment, with plenty of climbing and dangerous anthropoid predators, and Avar infantry. The guide offers strategies for the shield boss at the end of the level, advising you to use the platforms to shoot him when his shield is down, and use energy pills. Level 4 ramps up the difficulty significantly in its lofty heights, removing the safety net, so falling means losing a life. It covers key objectives like a commando in need, where you track a signal to find another commando and head towards a waterfall, and obtaining the green decoder by completing the level. Re-entering Level 4 with the decoder allows you to access a secret communications room behind a waterfall, unlocking Level 16. Finally, it details how to crash the Avar party by destroying another reactor, using similar tactics to previous reactor missions while watching out for falling enemies and triple blasts. The next page delves deeper into Bionic Commando Elite Forces, starting with the secret base accessible via the green decoder from the previous level. This base is a top-down combat area offering an extra life. Level 16 itself is highlighted as an obstacle course, described as completely free of enemies, focusing purely on swinging skills to reach the top and earn a promotion. The guide also covers advanced elite techniques for using the bionic arm on various objects, and a specific drop and fire method for lateral movement. New impediments like mounted turrets and slime are introduced, alongside tougher Avar antagonists, including jetpack specialists and berserkers. The page concludes by praising the game's visuals on Game Boy Color and its engaging gameplay, recommending it for players seeking a challenging adventure. This page features an advertisement for Jeremy McGrath Supercross 2000 from Acclaim Sports, showcasing the motocross racer and highlighting the game's features including licensed riders and tracks, a 3D track editor, advanced graphics, and multiple platforms like PlayStation, PC, Sega Dreamcast, Nintendo 64, and Game Boy Color. This page dives into the world of Game Boy Color, highlighting the popularity of the system among developers and players alike. The focus is on the kaiju, featuring 2 Godzilla titles. First up is Godzilla, the series' King of the Monsters, a side-scrolling brawler where you play as the Lizard King, using classic monster moves like stomps, tail swings, and fireballs, to battle enemies and bosses across different levels, all based on the animated series. Next, Godzilla's Revenge presents a unique premise. Godzilla only attacks when provoked. This game details his defensive and offensive capabilities, such as the G-Force defensive moves like Fireball and Bite, which level up as you play. It also outlines various attacks like the Claw Swipe, Tail Whip, Foot Stomp, and the Be On Guard block, showing how they're executed, and their effects against different foes across multiple levels featuring different environments, and challenging enemies like subs and helicopters, leading up to tough bosses. This page covers 2 distinct Game Boy Color titles. First up is The New Adventures of Mary-Kate and Ashley, Sleuthing Sisters, a puzzle adventure game where you control the famous twins and their dog, Clue. Success relies on using each character's unique abilities, like Ashley's ability to flip switches, Mary-Kate's superior jumping, and Clue acting as a step stool or even a projectile, requiring cooperation to solve mysteries. The game involves picking up clues, collecting hearts for extra lives, careful platforming, and a bonus level upon completion. Next, we look at the Pong Show, Game Boy A Ghost. This isn't just the classic game, it offers several new modes like Jungle Pong with obstacles, Arctic Pong featuring disruptive penguins and power-ups, and Soccer Pong, where you score by hitting a goal. The article emphasizes that despite the variations, the core strategy of anticipation and positioning remains key, offering tips on angled shots and knowing the different court layouts and power-ups available. This page features 2 Game Boy Color titles in its Game Boy A Go section. First is Mr. Nuts, Super Squirrel, a platformer where Mr. Nuts must stop a Yeti from freezing the world. The journey involves swinging on ropes, climbing trees, and throwing acorns through varied environments like forests, a witch's house, and an obstacle course, culminating in boss battles against foes like Mr. Spider and the Octopus. The second game covered is Billy Bob's Huntin' Fishin', where you help Billy Bob impress his love, Daisy, by mastering the skills of hunting and fishing. You'll need to earn licenses for both activities by completing minigames like shooting rabbits or catching soda cans. Fishing involves digging for worms or catching minnows for bait, then casting your line, while hunting requires tracking rabbits in an ATV and taking a bath to mask your scent before shooting them in a gallery or in the field. This page showcases 3 distinct driving/car-themed games. First up is Test Drive 6, highlighting the chance to drive expensive licensed cars like the Dodge Viper. You earn money in the car lot by winning races, can use power-ups to improve your vehicle, chase down others in Cop Chase, and check your progress in high scores. The driver training section gives tips on tactics like watching skids, cutting off opponents, and taking shortcuts, plus how to unlock the hidden Mega Cup by winning all others consecutively. Next, Micro Machines 1 and 2. Twin Turbo is presented as a Game Boy A-Go-Go title. The classic miniaturized racing action is packed into one cartridge, featuring tracks made from everyday household objects and a variety of vehicles like tanks and helicopters. It also highlights the unique 2-player mode, where both players share a single Game Boy. Finally, Grand Theft Auto is featured under the Highway Robbery section. This offers a different kind of car experience, where you are a gangster, stealing cars and delivering packages. You start on foot, find assignments, can pick up weapons by running over crates, and must deal with the police who are out to get you. Picking up the pace by stealing cars is essential for getting around the large towns. This page features Top Gear Pocket 2 for the Game Boy Color, a dedicated rally racing title. The game boasts 36 courses across gravel and tarmac, offering challenging tracks with various weather and time conditions, including sun, rain, snow, and night, for added realism. You can race 15 authentic rally cars, featuring classics like the Toyota GT4 Street and Lancia Delta. Beyond just racing, you can tweak your car using a mechanic's toolbox filled with gadgets and gizmos to optimize performance. This portable racer brings detailed rally action to the handheld, scheduled to put it in your pocket February 1, 2000. This page is packed with challenges for seasoned gamers. First up, the Arena Challenges feature Donkey Kong 64, asking you to collect everything in Crystal Caves or Creepy Castle. There's also a high score challenge in Namco Museum 64 across classic arcade titles, and a speed run against the clock in Xena Warrior Princess. Feeling twisted? 2 trivia challenges test your knowledge on The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and Mario Golf. Test your DK64 knowledge further by ordering scrambled screenshots from the game. A Try This section presents game-related quizzes, where you find the odd one out in various categories, from character appearances to music. Finally, a scoreboard highlights top performers in previous challenges for games like Pokemon and Beetle Adventure Racing, and a Who Am I section asks you to identify a Pokemon from a photo booth challenge. This page presents a power guide to the latest releases, specifically featuring 3 Nintendo 64 game reviews from February 2000. Ridge Racer 64 kicks things off with an overall rating of 7.9, praised as the best in the series on the N64 for its graphics and smooth racing action, despite varied car handling. Disney's Tarzan swings in next, earning an impressive 8.5 overall rating, noted for its immersive 2.5D platforming, excellent animation, and responsive controls. Finally, Fighter Destiny 2 is reviewed with a 7.5 overall, highlighted for its unique fighting system and character variety, though its graphics are seen as a step up but not top tier for the console. Screenshots from each game are included alongside detailed breakdowns of their graphics, play control, game design, satisfaction, and sound. This page features reviews for 4 Nintendo 64 games. Elmo's Letter Adventure, an educational title with a 7.4 overall rating, teaches the alphabet with bright graphics and simple controls across different worlds. PGA European Tour, a golf simulation, scores a 6.9 overall, noted for nice course visuals but some awkward controls and confusing elements for beginners. Elmo's Number Journey, another educational Sesame Street game, gets a 7.3 overall for teaching numbers with expressive animation and intuitive gameplay, despite a slow camera. World League Soccer receives a 6.9 overall rating, offering simple on-field controls in various modes, though the graphics aren't top-tier, and staff comments suggest it's outshined by other soccer titles. Screenshots are shown for each game, and staff scores are included for comparison. This page features reviews for 4 more games. Cyber Tiger on the N64 is a golf game with a 6.8 overall rating, noted for its realistic physics and unique analog stick controls. Turok Rage Wars for Game Boy Color scores a 7.4 overall, offering colorful graphics and platforming action with multiple weapons and worlds. Bionic Commando on Game Boy Color earns a high 8.3 overall rating, praised as one of the best-looking GBC action games, featuring grappling mechanics and new features like a sniper rifle. Finally, Mr. Nuts for Game Boy Color, a platformer with large characters, receives a 6.8 overall, considered a standard but decent entry in the genre. This page delves into more Game Boy Color titles, starting with Grand Theft Auto. The GBC port features impressive graphics for cars and buildings, though the character is tiny and the overhead view can be awkward. Play control is difficult, especially driving. Despite a wealth of content, the actual missions are quite tame compared to its reputation. Sound is decent, but the overall rating is 6.2. Next is The New Adventures of Mary-Kate and Ashley, a puzzle/adventure game. The graphics are clear, making puzzle elements easy to spot despite small character sprites. Play control is simple, but the game design can feel slow. The music is noted as annoying. It scores a 6.1 overall. The Also Playing This Month section covers several more GBC games. Micro Machines 1 and 2, 7.2, offers excellent racing action. Billy Bob's Huntin' and Fishin', 6.7, is a repetitive fishing game. Pong, 6.6, brings the classic arcade game with new modes. Godzilla, 6.3, is a slow-paced monster brawler, and Test Drive 6, 5.9, is a driving game with an overhead view. Finally, the Behind the Numbers and Names section explains the review process, introducing the evaluators, detailing how the overall ratings are calculated by weighting different categories, like satisfaction and game design most heavily, and provides a guide to the ESRB age ratings. The next page showcases Warlocked, a surprisingly deep real-time strategy game coming to Game Boy Color. It features resource management, base building, and tactical battles between humans and beasts, with different units and wizards offering unique abilities. Reviewers were impressed by its scope and cleverness, especially the multiplayer via link cable. The page also highlights Nintendo's new Fantastic series of 64 consoles, displaying several vibrant, translucent color options like Watermelon and Jungle, set for release soon. Brief previews for other titles include Looney Tunes Collector and Tiger Woods, 2000 on Game Boy Color, plus Baku Bomberman and Friend 1 Racing Championship. This page continues the POC Play section, offering hands-on previews for several anticipated titles. Looney Tunes Collector. Alert for Game Boy Color is highlighted, focusing on collecting characters from a large roster of Looney Tunes favorites, puzzles, action, and multiplayer trading to unlock more content. Following that, Baku Bomberman 2 for the N64 is showcased, detailing its new adventure mode with a companion character, space shop for items, and enhanced multiplayer features, including a custom Bomberman mode. Lastly, Fry 1 Racing Championship on the N64 is presented as a realistic racing simulation, with improved visuals and controls, introducing new modes like Arcade Checkpoint and Head-to-Head Duel Mode. The previews offer a glimpse into the gameplay and features of these upcoming games. The next page continues the Pack Peaks section, offering previews on several diverse titles. We check out Tiger Woods PGA 2000, a realistic golf simulation across multiple platforms, and Matchbox Caterpillar Construction Zone for Game Boy Color, focusing on heavy equipment and tasks. Hello Kitty's Cube Frenzy is highlighted as a unique Tetris-like puzzle game. The page also touches on the Looney Tunes racing game and provides an overview of the Game Boy Color market, listing upcoming games like Driver and Robopon, alongside N64 updates such as Daikatana, Jeremy McGrath's Supercross 2000, and the RPG Aiden Chronicles, The First Mage. Screenshots showcase several of these titles. Additionally, there's a release forecast detailing upcoming games for Winter 1999, Spring 2000, and the future across Nintendo 64 and Game Boy Color. This page previews the upcoming issue, highlighting big releases like Pokémon Stadium for 64, Rare's intense shooter Perfect Dark, and the arcade boat racer Hydro Thunder. Readers are also invited to nominate their choices for the Nintendo Power Awards, including Game of the Year and Best Character. The page also includes extensive lists of numerous 64 and Game Boy titles. Additionally, there are promotional sections for the upcoming Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Trading Card game releases, offering details on how to reserve them, and an advert for the Star Wars Episode 1 Racer 64 game and a limited edition console bundle available at Sears and Funtronics. This page details available back issues of Nintendo Power magazine, listing the main game coverage in each volume, perfect for collectors looking to complete their sets. It also promotes the Nintendo Power Source email newsletter, promising subscribers direct access to Nintendo news, tips, and exclusive codes. The most prominent section is a vibrant advertisement for collectible Pokemon dog tags, featuring fan-favorite characters like Pikachu, Snorlax, and others, encouraging fans to collect all 150 licensed tags now available in stores.